What's up, guys? Welcome to GooTalks number 17. I'm your host, gootecks, and yes, this show is old enough to get into N17 movies all by itself. You know, when we started, it was just a baby, couldn't take this show to any movies. Now we can go see PG-13, rated R by ourselves, and of course the big one, NC-17. Tomorrow, of course, you know, it'll be GooTalks number 18. We'll go buy some cigarettes, buy some lottery tickets, and go to the strip club, right? Because that's what happens when we turn 18 here on GooTalks. We hit up all the vices. And as you guys know, I love vices. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of topics that have come to mind recently. The first being efficiency, the second being, actually the second one kind of ties into efficiency. Anyways, let's talk about efficiency. As you guys may know, we stream this show, I stream this show here on Twitch, and then it goes up to the YouTubes. You may be watching this on the YouTubes, and then when it's on YouTube, there are stats available. Those of you guys who produce content may know that you can look at where, how many people are watching, where they were from, how long, and, one of the things that's becoming increasingly important is how long they've been watching. YouTube calls this audience retention. And audience retention is the amount of people that start out watching your video compared to the amount of people that end up watching your video once it's come to the end. So one of the reasons that this is important is because if your audience retention is high, then your video is more likely to show up when it comes to, whatever. I'll just message him. One of the things is that whatever. One of the things that's important is that if your video has very high audience retention, then it is more likely to show up in one of the videos that YouTube recommends when other videos finish, or in your homepage or whatever. Because if your video is, let's say, an hour long, and then by the end you only have like 10% of the people that started watching finish watching once it comes to the end, then you have what's called low audience retention. Now there's two metrics on YouTube. There's absolute audience retention, and then there's relative audience retention. Now, I'm not sure what's more important to YouTube because I don't know the algorithms, right? But what I do know is that it's very discouraging when I see the audience retention drop off significantly after a certain point. Now, granted, each video is different, and some videos may have higher audience retention than others, but I guess I wanted to show you guys, because we are talking about efficiency, I wanted to show you guys kind of one of the metrics, or I guess the sample stats for one of the episodes of GooTalks, as well as GooPlays and Excellent Adventures. So let's take a look real quick at the audience retention for GooTalks number 15. Okay, so take a look at this. Oops. Let me make sure that. Okay, so if you guys can see this, we got the text messages. If you guys can see this, just take a look. Okay, so here's number 15, which was a couple days ago, right? This was on Friday. So you can see right here, it starts at 100 and then swiftly goes down, 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 all the way. You know, we kind of hang on a little bit, you know, in the low 30%, and then boom, go all the way down to about 15%. You know, I mean, whatever, once I'm wrapping it up, but let's just say 20%. Once it gets to about 39 minutes, we're only at 20%. So what does that mean? That means, that could mean any number of things, right? It could mean that, whatever, these topics are, the topics are boring, or, you know, maybe it was longer than people really wanted to hear me talk, which is fine. But that's just something to, I mean, for me, it's something to kind of keep in mind. Now let's look at relative audience retention. So for a video that's about this long, you can see that basically I have kind of average audience attention, boom, and then it dips down and then it goes up again. Okay, so at the 28-minute mark, like I'm still retaining an above average percentage of the audience, and then boom, average, average, average. Okay, that's fine. You know, not too concerned about that. But now let's compare this to one of the other recent videos. Like for example, let's take the last Third Strike Revival video that I put up, and we'll compare the numbers. So we can kind of just compare the graph and then we can see. And this one looks a little bit different. Let me pause this. Okay. So you can see right here, it's a 40-minute video, kind of similar in length, and you can see, boom, like the audience retention is much higher, significantly higher. I mean, it starts, yeah, here, you know, at about 93%, and then, you know, at 11 minutes we get down to 70%, and then boom, I can keep half of the audience all the way to the 27-minute mark. Once the 27-minute mark has been passed, it kind of drops down to 40%, boom, and this is where everybody drops off. Now, I don't remember what happened. I don't know if I lost like a match or if I started playing other characters and then people stopped caring because I don't know what I'm doing. All these are significant possibilities. But I'm going to say that it's a fair, in terms of efficiency, right? If I can't keep, like imagine that this, I was doing stand-up, right? Everybody came to see me, and then by 27 minutes into it, nobody, half the audience has left. Now that tells me that it could be many things. I am not engaging enough to keep people around. Another possibility could be that, hey, you know, people just don't have that much time. I mean, hey, you guys love me, right? But you can only stomach so much of me, which is fine. I'm not offended. I'm not offended. I want to know, you know, I want to know these things because, you know, it helps me to become more efficient. Because let's say that I know that, let's say that I just want to keep 50%, right? If more than half the people leave, dude, I'm done, right? So that would mean that these episodes of Third Strike Revival definitely don't need to be longer than half an hour because people just don't have that much time, right? So if I look at gootalks, if I really wanted to be efficient with gootalks, then let me open it up again, open up audience retention, and we'll see where it drops off below 50%. So for gootalks, right, 3 minutes. So I don't know. I mean, you know, with gootalks, it's really more for me and less for you. But for the other stuff where I'm playing, you know, or putting out content like that, then yeah, definitely. I want to keep people engaged. So if I were to apply the same metric with gootalks, then that would mean that I have to stop at around the 3.5 to 4 minute mark of just me talking. So maybe you could say that in general for this audience, right, that the limit for just talking with no gameplay is 3.5 to 4 minutes. But for gameplay, maybe the limit is 28 minutes, 27, 28 minutes. Now, let's compare this to, let's say, an episode of Excellent Adventures, which is probably the most well-received and the most popular show that we have here on Cross Counter. So let's look at the most recent episode of Excellent Adventures, and then we'll see if we can see like a similarity, I guess, in the amount of retention that we have. Now, keep in mind, I haven't looked at these stats. You guys are seeing it for the first time, I'm seeing it for the first time, right? So this is the most recent episode with me and Mike, season 6, episode 5, tournament mode, and you can see, wow, look at this. This is just absolutely, it's so much higher, right? We get down, but then again, this is a shorter video. And then you can see right here, it starts to drop off at the 23-minute mark, 63%. But up until there, wow, we are hovering way in the 80s and 90s, and we drop down to the 70s. Maybe we lost the match right there, but here, we dropped down to 70%. Right about the 21-minute mark. Now, I don't know what happened right there. Who knows? Maybe we lost a match. Everybody's like, fuck these guys. Or maybe, you know, people, that's about all that they could, that's all the gootecks and Mike Ross that they wanted. But let's look at one of the episodes and see if we can see like kind of a trend. The Coco Boss says, rule number 1, always leave them wanting more. Sure, I like that. That's a good rule to live by. Now let's look at, this is episode 4, the one before. And you guys can see here we are, 80%, pretty consistent all the way, almost all the way through to like the 22-minute mark. So what can we learn from this? Okay, obviously, Mike and I are more engaging than just me by myself, obviously. I'm just going to, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Death Dealer Wolf. You, yeah, do you ban these guys. So what does that mean, right? I would say that for stuff like gootalks, hey, whatever. I don't really care, but maybe I'll try to keep them down to like half an hour, or maybe I won't because I don't really care because gootalks is just, it's just me here, chilling here talking. It's no problem either way. But maybe for goo plays and third strike, maybe try to keep it like around the 22 to 30-minute mark. You know, 22 minutes is, you know, the average, is basically the average length of a 30-minute sitcom, taking into consideration the commercials. And, you know, if you look at some of the other videos that I've done recently, Goo Plays and Third Strike Revival, some of these episodes are like 40, 50 minutes. And, you know, as much as I love you guys and you guys love me, hey, you don't need to tell me that you don't have a ton of time to just sit here and watch me play all day. So that's what I got. That's what I got for you guys about efficiency. Let's see. Pixel says, I think you have to be the right kind of person to enjoy gootalks. Only a certain subset of people are actually interested in self-improvement. Yes, that's why, hey, I think for those that stick around the longest, those are the guys, you know, you're the ones that are really, really into it. And you're the guys that I'm trying to cater to. Because, hey, 3 minutes, I mean, another idea, right, is to take the longer segments and then chop them into shorter 3 to 5 minute videos. And these videos would probably be able to be spread more virally because, hey, let's be honest here, right? Sometimes we have shows here that are, in general, whatever. But usually there's one segment or one clip from every single one of these episodes that was funny or was insightful, or I'm yelling at somebody for being retarded, one or the other. Oh, who's snoring back there? Kevin from Cross Counter Asia. I put him to sleep. Kevin from Cross Counter Asia came to visit. Well, not came to visit. He's here on business, but he's staying here for a while. Let's see. Let's look at some of this chat room. Splinter5 says, in terms of efficiency, when you talk about audience retention, what are the few things you take into consideration first? Well, I try to think, well, you know, how many people is acceptable to keep around? So in my mind, for the gameplay stuff, it's going to be 50%. If 50% of the people leave, hey, whatever. In my mind, the show's gone on too long. Yeah, okay. Falafalaf says, a lot of people view gootalks are fans of X Adventures and after realizing there's no Street Fighter 4, they drop around the 3-minute mark, explain why there's such a drastic drop. Gootecks is a lot more niche, but we love it. Cool, thank you. Hey, it's more niche, that's fine. No problem. SRK Dat says, I sent you an email last week. What is your email address? And I'll look it up. Jay the Mind says, what is your biggest goal with Talks? Basically, the goal right now is for me to just have an outlet to kind of kick around ideas, get feedback from you guys, because if I'm working on something, you know, all I have to do, and this has happened plenty of times, is talk it over with you guys, and lots of times you guys have like some pretty solid suggestions for most things. I'm not SRK Dat. I'm not finding any email from that email address. Jesus. So, I guess what I'm saying is that you can look forward to maybe shorter gameplay shows where it's just me. Especially, I mean, I'm going to try this out because basically this is the way it's going to work. I'm going to Seasons meetings on Thursday morning, which means that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I will not have a chance to record any gameplay because I'm going to be at Seasons meetings. So what I'm planning to do is sit here and record a bunch of episodes of both Third Strike and Street Fighter 4 for you guys to enjoy over basically the break. And I'm going to shoot these all today and tomorrow and then put these up for release, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right? gootalks, I probably will be able to just do while I'm in Ohio because it just requires the webcam, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. So, since I know that I have this time where I'm not going to be around, right? Now, I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I have 5 episodes to put up for each. Now, if I was trying to do the same, like, 40 minutes or 45 minutes of me playing Third Strike and Street Fighter 4, that would take 45 times 5 is 222. 225 divided by 60 is 45. I mean, it's basically like 3.5 hours of each game. So I would have to play about 7 hours total of Third Strike and Marvel between Third Strike and Street Fighter 4 between now and tomorrow, and then get everything uploaded and ready to go and scheduled to upload when I leave. Now, if I chop that in half and say, oh, I'm going to do 20-minute episodes instead. Now, if I do 20-minute episodes, now I've cut my time in half and maybe have increased the audience retention, which may increase the shareability or the suggestibility of the videos in the YouTube algorithm, which then would lead to more views, more subscribers, and more money. I'm not gonna play Marvel. Sorry, guys. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to learn the game at the way it is right now, and I don't have anybody to play with, and I'm not gonna play it online because I don't think it can be done online. Superstar X says, just get some girls on the show. Viewership jumps up. Yo, bro. You got any that want to come down? Let me know. Yeah, I mean, for me, Falafel says it's worth a shot, and I think it'll work with increasing views. Personally, I like the 40-minute videos, but not everybody has my attention span. You know, I agree. Like, me personally, the way that I got into producing content was podcasts, right? Back in 2006, I'm so old and so dating myself. I was a fan of podcasts like The Don and Drew Show and Twit and the Engadget podcast. And most of these podcasts were relatively long, you know, 45 minutes, an hour, sometimes even an hour and a half. So I was used to long form content, mostly because, you know, I was in college at the time, and I would load the podcast onto my iPod, there was no iPhone, and I would listen, you know, walking to class, after class, taking the bus, all these things. So I really enjoyed the long form content. So when I got into producing content, when I got into producing the podcasts myself, I wanted the same thing, because I was like, well, dude, people got to go to work, people are driving, people are on public transit, whatever. But now, you know, it's different, right? Like, in 2012, you know, we have YouTube. This is not just audio content anymore, although gootalks could definitely just be audio. I mean, you know, we can do both, right? But for stuff like the gameplay videos, you know, people aren't necessarily gonna sit here and, you know, watch the whole thing. I mean, it would be great if they did, you know, if people have their computers or their Apple TVs or whatever, they have their media center PCs connected to their TVs, and they can just sit back and just veg out for 40 minutes at a time, you know, like, that's dope. I like that. But I think most people are still watching on their computer, or maybe they're watching on mobile, on their phones. And, you know, maybe people don't have more than 25 minutes at a time to just sit there. So, yeah. Valkyrian7 says, just get a girl on camera in a small box in the corner who loves games and just randomly decided to stream even though she's wearing full makeup and a shirt that makes her B-cup tits look like an amazing D-cup cleavage. No other girl has done that on Twitch before. I agree. If any of you girls out there with a B-cup that can look like a D-cup from the right angle with the correct makeup and want to boost on your Twitch views, get at me. Anyways, so that is what we got for efficiency. What's next? I'm looking for this email that you sent. Okay, here it is. Spam folder, of course. Why is this message in spam? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put this question up here. Let me pop it out. Since you're in here and since you asked so nicely. Hey gootecks, I've been watching gootalks lately. In fact, I'm watching it right now. I've been interested in your advice on YouTube content value. When I started on YouTube, it was kind of like the crap you showed on your stream from that email. Obviously, that isn't going to cut it. Lately, I've been trying to produce better content, but unless it gets featured on SRK, it still only gets a small amounts of views because I've only built up a small audience of about 200 subs. I've made connections with guys like Antoine Lavnat, Zetsubo Sentinel. Why don't you try a premium service where you charge people for the 40-minute episodes for those who would like more content? Yeah, something we're working on, yes. I've made connections with guys like Antoine Lavnon, who provides the godlike music, and even made a website with a few of my friends, which is also worth a look. I'd also like you to take a look at my channel, give me some feedback on any of the last 12 or so bits. Here's my latest Cami tutorial to get you started. Perfect. Okay, let me look at this real quick. Okay. Perfect. You know what's funny? I really, really, really like what you're doing here. Let's see. Let me put this on. Random select TV. Nice intro. Episode 4. Frame traps. You know, I might just pick up Cami after I watch these videos. Nice. Okay, good info. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Uh-huh. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other videos. I guess what I would say is that at the beginning or at the end, you know, you have the annotation to watch the next video or whatever. I would put, you can do an annotation so that when people click on it, it'll subscribe them. I would push that. I would have that maybe in the top corner throughout the video, and then prompt it again at the end. I think that of all these videos, all of this, at least the Cami tech is really solid. Okay, you're gonna have a set tutorial trailer. I don't know if I would have made a trailer for an upcoming tutorial video because it probably took more time to do the trailer than the actual tutorial. I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's take a look at the website. Putthatback.org. I would have gone with random select. Okay, I see it's other stuff. Okay, this is not totally like fighting game stuff. Let's see. It's good. Very nice looking site. All right. This. Oh wow. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. The issues as I see them are that, you know, this stuff that you're doing is solid. Yeah, it's solid. Yeah. I would say that what it's going to come down to is, I guess the part that you're missing is you need to build relationships with the other media outlets. Like you say that, oh, okay, you get good views when event hubs post your stuff. Great, perfect. That's a great start. That's a good start, right? Now, the challenge is how do you get Event Hub, how do you build a relationship with Event Hubs and iPlayWinner and SRK and build relationships with the writers so that they'll always post your stuff. The reality is, though, that even if you get more publicity to your videos, it's still going to be a very slow climb, right? Like right now, you have 215 subscribers, 178,000 video views, right? All I can tell you is that it's going to be like a long road. But if you continue to put out quality content as you're doing, you'll find that it grows. You know, like if you can make these videos. Oh, and the other thing is too, actually, let me look at the site. Put that back.org. I don't know if you think it's better to have everything on this site rather than just the fighting game stuff. But one thing that you could do, that I would do, if I had the ability to produce all these videos, I would have a section or a website dedicated to each character. So you have a site with all the different Street Fighter 4 characters, right? And you have sections for each. You know, you have a Cammy section, a Seth section, whatever, and you fill each section with all your videos, so that would help with SEO, right? If people are typing in Cammy tutorials, Cammy frame traps, then hopefully your new site that's maybe like streetfighter4tutorials.com or whatever, that would show up first. So I think you're doing a lot of things right. I would push the subscribers more. So I would say that push your subscribers more, build relationships with Event Hubs, iPlay Winner, and SRK, and work on putting together a subsection of the site, like a subdomain, or creating your own site specifically to showcase the videos, because these videos are really good. It's good. It's just that when you're first starting, you're not going to have a whole lot of viewers. Mick Huggins says, what does pushing subscribers mean? I would say at the beginning, since you're talking, you would say, the first thing I would say, hey guys, thanks for watching. We're going to get into some Cammy tech today. We're going to be talking about frame traps. If you like this, please hit the subscribe button up on top. And now let's get started. And another thing that I would probably also add is a webcam to at least open the video so that people can see your face. Part of the reason why people like me is because they see me, they feel like they know me, they can talk to me, they're used to this presentation. So push subscribers, add yourself into the video, build relationships with Event Hubs, iPlay Winner, and SRK, and build a section of the site or build a new site to showcase the tutorials. Yes, GC Thrizzle says you shouldn't underestimate the value of SEO for this. A lot of noobs search for advice using Google. Absolutely, yes. Creating a separate site with you know, the important keywords in the title and the domain will help, because putthatback.org looks to me like a site that's encompassing all kinds of gaming and tech as well, you know, all kinds of stuff. But to create a smaller site specifically for the character tutorials that you're doing is really valuable, in my opinion. All right. I don't know if the chat is frozen or what happened. But I'm going to take a quick break. Sit tight. I'm going to get something to drink. All right, and we're back. So Bronson, SRK Dat, thank you. Thank you for sending in your stuff. If you guys are looking for feedback on some of the projects that you're working on, whether it's FGC related or not, feel free to send me an email at gootecks@crosscounter.tv. I like looking at other people's stuff. Yes, link the channel, dude. Sure, 1 second. Here is the channel. So if you guys want to support, and hey, maybe Gosh, you know, it might just be me, but I have a higher attention span for written words than I do videos. So stuff like the Rindukan Bible, which is the Makoto guide that's in PDF format. I actually would love to see one of these for Cami. If I can watch these videos. Oh man, honestly, I'm probably gonna go back and watch these later, and I'll learn a little bit of Cammy, so that way I can entertain you guys with yet another subpar character of mine on the other shows. Let me add this in. Yeah, you can be my Cammy coach. There we go. Random select. TV. Oh. This is tough. There we go. YouTube.com/random select TV. Good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, see, guys want stuff for Ibuki, Akuma, Cody, yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you find forums hard to navigate, we must become the change that we want to see, right? That's Gandhi said that, yeah. Yes, there is an amazing guide for Ibuki. There's one for Ibuki, there's one for Makoto. That's pretty much all I've seen. So there you go, guys. Get to it. You gotta do work. Do work, son. Yeah, Perukia, learning alone, online warrior doesn't drive me, the arcade I'm going to is as big as one in my area, but I'm so scrubby I'm hesitating. Hey, just go, god damn it. Somewhere along the line, this culture has been developed where people are afraid to do things, right? We've gotten so used to being in front of our computers, being behind Xbox Live, we forget what it's like to go out into the real world. We've gotten a little too much socially awkward penguin inside of us, but trust me, practice makes perfect, right? You guys know that when I was younger, I was not gootecks, I was just Ryan. I had friends, obviously, but I was not the type that was able to go up and talk to random people, random strangers about whatever, right? As I've gotten older and I've grown as a person through building my confidence through doing things like videos, through doing things like Cross Counter Live, and doing things like hosting on stage, like I have grown accustomed to doing it, and thus when I go out and about in the real world, even if it's not, a fighting game thing, like through doing business over the years, through working on various projects, I am confident in my ability to bring value to almost any situation based on the past experiences that I have. So Perukia, who is saying my problems aren't so much social as much as my fear of getting bodied so much, but I suppose it's irrational since it's going to happen. Right, okay. Now, if you don't have social problems, then you don't care if you're gonna go get bodied, do you? Because a high value social person will either preface what he's about to do when it's his turn, because he's already built up rapport with the people that are there at the arcade. He's already introduced himself to a few people and said, hey, what's up? Yeah, first time here, like I've been playing at home. I want to get better. I'm not the best, but I'm here to learn. Trust me, and it's never happened to me before. ever, in all my years of going to the arcade, nobody has ever said, hey, what's up? I'm so-and-so. I'm here to learn. I'm new. Please be gentle with me. And if anybody had said that to any of the mean third strike snobs at FFA, I promise you, they would say, it's cool, man. Do your thing. Nobody's going to hate you for it. So I do think it's a social problem. Don't get it twisted. Don't delude yourself into thinking that it's just about your fighting game skill, because it's not. It's about your lack of confidence in the real world. All right, moving forward. Let's see, what else were we supposed to talk about today? What else? We talked about efficiency. Hey, that's risk reward, right? What are you really risking, right? We all feel like in the moment where there is a chance to be embarrassed. Embarrassment or shame or whatever is really just kind of an extension of how we used to feel when we were cavemen if we made a mistake. If you made a mistake as a caveman, you might get eaten by a tiger or beaten by some larger caveman, put in some sort of bodily harm situation. Nowadays, it's really not like that. But we still have that in our lizard brain or the monkey mind or whatever you want to call it. We still have these issues. We have these irrational fears that some physical harm will come to us if we make one of these errors. If we go up there and, we lose or whatever, we think great shame will come upon us and we deserve to die. The reality is, of course, that when we risk these things, that is the only way for us to be rewarded. So when it's a situation of talking to a girl, you see an attractive girl, or talking to somebody that's like, somebody that you're trying to connect with in business, right? Fuck the fear, right? Who cares? No pain, no gain, no guts, no glory, right? Because they're not all going to work out, right? Every time that you go and try to talk to some girl, they're just not all going to respond. But does it matter? No, because it's really more about the process than the result. So we don't have to worry that we're going to get shot down. We don't have to worry that we're going to get bodied in front of everybody. We don't have to worry that somebody that we're trying to connect with on a professional level isn't going to hear us out. Who cares? It doesn't matter. What matters is making the effort, right? You're not going to succeed with all of them, but you will succeed with some of them, right? And it may even be the ones that you least expect. Hey, you never know, right? Gosh, there was an advice animal that I saw on Reddit before I did this show. Let me see if I can find it. When I show it to you guys, you'll understand a little bit of what I'm saying. Here it is. The title is, I didn't know that things like this happen to guys like me at parties. Tells childhood crush, I used to like her, got a BJ at the end of the night. There you go. Kevin, shut up. So what I'm saying is that had he not taken the chance on telling her, right, would have amounted to nothing. So, on that note, Yeah. Let's see what else. Trade secrets, right? Let's take a quick break and we'll talk about trade secrets. Show this commercial to people watching on Twitch. All right. So, trade secrets are important to develop, right? They're important to develop in your business, in your hustle, in all aspects of life. And the way that we develop trade secrets is by having a goal in mind. Maybe this goal is a technical goal. You're going to use your hardware that you have available to you to do something new that hasn't been done before. Maybe it's a life goal, like, for example, running a marathon or putting on weight, putting on muscle. Maybe it's something like getting better with girls, right? Now, the trade secrets are important to develop so that makes you develop or discover, so that makes you a step ahead of the competition. Now, one of the ways that Cross Counter has gotten ahead, right, is by developing trade secrets in streaming, in video production, and of course, like, in the game itself, right? Like, you guys wouldn't watch me and Mike play Excellent Adventures if we hadn't put ourselves on the map by doing well in tournaments across the country. Well, we wouldn't have been doing well in tournaments across the country if we hadn't put the time into learning the trade secrets. This can be applied on a technical level as well, in terms of production. We have a couple of trade secrets that we use here at Cross Counter to do the live video streaming, right? Anybody that comes into live music streaming is either going to be doing it on webcams or they're going to be needing like those big multi-$1,000 cameras hooked up to a TriCaster, and as such, that leaves a huge gap in between the upper echelons of live music shows and the lower levels where you can do it on a webcam. Everywhere in between is going to have to find out how we're able to do it. So what I'm saying, and these few key bits of trade secrets, some of which were shared by other streamers, some of which were not discovered, but implemented through days and weeks of trial and error, as well as research on the internet. Now, I'm fairly confident in our system, and who knows, maybe we'll create some sort of guide or DVD or premium video to help. I know you guys don't care. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about other people that are going to want to get into this. How to stream live music from something. Anyways. Yes, then you guys can Pirate Bay it, which would be fine. But what I'm saying is, think about what you're trying to accomplish and think about what you can develop that will always keep you a step ahead. In the past, in terms of content production, just me being able to be competent with audio and video to be able to produce quality audio podcasts and understand how they work kept, I would say, a lot of imitators at bay. Being able to produce the videos ourselves, as I mentioned before, like, me and Mike have strong production backgrounds, so we're able to put together a lot of the stuff ourselves back in the day, so anyways, I think that about wraps it up. Oh, hey, here's a trade secret for you right here. Jack Threads. For those of you guys that have been asking me, hey, you know, sometimes I get questions like, where do I get my stuff? Or where do I buy my clothes? Here is one of the trade secrets. Let me put this URL up right here. You can sign up, get $10 when you get $5 credit when you sign up, and I get 10 bucks if you buy something. I just got some stuff today, so there you go. Check it out, jackthreads.com. So many good clothes for guys. All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching Goo Talks number 17. And I'm probably going to set up, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to set it up. I'll probably just do it offline. All right. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to play some Street Fighter and play some Third Strike. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.